I believe the Seventh-day Adventist Church is God's remnant people in these last days. And I don't care about being politically incorrect. I just don't care. God's remnant people can be identified biblically. And one of the identifying marks is they keep the commandments of God, all 10. And so I thank God for this church and for what it has meant to me. And my prayer for you is that you will remain faithful to the truth no matter what other people do. Whether that other person is your spouse, your mother, your father, your cousin, your friend, your enemy, do not ever leave this church for any reason. Jesus said in John 6:70, "Have I not chosen you 12? One of you is a devil." Jesus had a devil among the 12 disciples, but the disciples were still the early church. Are you following me? The church does not cease to be God's church because there are devils in it. The place to find devils is in the church. Devils don't waste time going to the casino and to bars and to whorehouses. The devil already has those places. The devils come to church. And so even though your pastor may be a well-dressed hypocrite, you are still in God's remnant church. Are you following me? It is still. Don't leave and go set up a church where nobody commits any sins. You'll be wasting your time. Don't leave. Stay in God's church. And why should you stay? When a lot of disciples were leaving Christ in John 6:66, from that time, many of his disciples walked back, left him and walked no more with him. And Jesus said to the 12, "Will ye also go away?" Simon Peter answered, said to him, "Lord, to whom shall we go? Thou hast the words of eternal life." What Peter was saying, we are staying because of what you preach. Not because you have a building, because Christ had none. Not because the members drive Mercedes-Benz and Lexus and BMWs. No, we are staying because of what you preach. For those of you who don't have a church, when you contemplate joining a church, don't ask, "Is the pastor handsome?" Don't ask, "Where do the members work?" Don't ask, "Is the church in the suburbs?" Ask, "What do they teach?" And what they teach must correspond with, "Thus saith the Lord." If they do not teach, "Thus saith the Lord," you will simply be enjoying a social experience, not a worship experience. Because the foundation of worship is obedience. What did God say to Saul with Samuel as his spokesperson? "Hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices?" That's worship. As in obeying the voice of the Lord. "Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice." Keep your special music. Obey me. Keep your large offering. Obey me. Obedience is better than sacrifice. And let me say one other thing that may cause you a little concussion. Obedience is better than sacrifice to the extent that obedience is preferable to any sacrifice, including the sacrifice of Christ.